With 24 years in the wellness and skincare industry, Amanda Lemmage has merged her passion for aesthetics with entrepreneurial excellence at Skingevity Med Spa. Her journey from interior design and business healthcare to leading a med spa has been truly transformative. At Skingevity, her team, that's super talented, has embraced their philosophy: the injectable is undetectable. They've dedicated to providing subtle, effective treatments that enhance natural beauty and boost confidence in their thriving community. Amanda, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
My absolute pleasure. I'm really excited to talk all things skincare, but you have a very unique background. Like, you started off in interior design. What made you shift to come to beauty and skincare?
I really felt a calling to focus on things that I'm passionate about, which is truly wellness treatments has always been one of my favorite things to incorporate, in my lifestyle daily, as well as appreciating skincare treatments. So it's really something that guided me to want to explore into that field. And the career path is a little bit similar with interior design. Having a critical eye is very important and a level of dexterity. And I just feel so blessed to have found a true passion and to be able to do something that I love every day.
That's amazing. And then creating Skingevity, how did that come about?
Organically, I really was into a new community and just was looking to establish. I had an existing spa of my own and was just looking to settle down somewhere in my community that my son and I are a part of. It's a smaller location, smaller community. And so I really just found a great location, and it really was great for a lot of the people living in the community. Convenience is key,
Mhm.
and just established a strong rapport and started building a great clientele. And I grew the business about 300% in about 6 months. And so I knew I was on the right track and I was in the right place. So since then, it's just really blossomed and it's grown to what it is today. And I truly enjoy the growth and just incorporating all the new fun treatments that are in our field. The technology is just so much more advanced from when I started initially.
Yeah, I'll be honest, the only one I've really gotten done is like a laser treatment. And so I'm very curious to learn. There's so many different components. There's like IV therapy now, injectables, and then, of course, like skincare. So, what do you feel is one thing that everyone is missing out on for their skincare routine?
I would definitely suggest a medical grade facial or medical grade peel. And it's really advanced in the med spa space. It's not something that gives downtime. And a lot of clients that find that treatment, it is remarkably different from what they've experienced just from a traditional spa. It is something that it really can cure whatever underlying skin issue they have.
Mm.
So specifically, mostly, obviously, reversing aging is huge, but it treats the skin in general. So it'll help with dullness and dryness and treat acne as well and just revitalize the skin. And doing something like that monthly, even bi-monthly initially, it really helps. Uh, Really, you're creating maintenance and staying ageless, if you will. But it also is just nice to have the texture of your skin and just have rejuvenation. It's such a different look if you've never experienced that before. And it's very low key. It's not something that's drastic. And people get compliments, but it's nothing that you have any downtime that you're experiencing with that.
Now, it's interesting because we learn about oily skin, combination skin, dry skin. Would you say that comes to play with facials as well? Or is it, do you treat everyone pretty much the same?
Absolutely, it's very different. Everyone is a little different, and we really need to focus on what are their concerns and how can we treat those issues they're having. And I love to say a lot of the treatments that we offer, they are for any skin type. We do make some alterations, obviously. In someone that has more acneic skin or oily skin, we're able to combat that and really prevent the acne from really just kind of keeping it in its tracks and keeping it at bay and controlling that and preventing as well. And then also with the dullness or dryness and sensitive skin. So what's really nice is we can work with the most sensitive skin and not have to worry about having any damage done to the skin or dermal layer.
Mm, nice. It's, yeah, it's so fascinating how we travel through life and we just go through like a moisturizer, maybe tinted moisturizer, sunscreen, but we forget about like how deep our skin is. We don't give enough like nutrients to it. Do you provide, because I know that you do some coaching as well, do you provide like nutrition advice, or are you just specifically focusing on like coaching around their skin? Because I know everything kind of weaves together.
It's interesting you bring that up because it truly does start from the inside out. I mean, it's really what you're putting in your body as well. And we do help a lot of clients that need just a shift. Maybe it's one thing we can do to suggest to help them get on the right path. And a lot of acne issues even can come from the gut and, other things that are going on in the skin. Irritation can stem from your gut. I mean, your gut really controls everything in your body. So it's just important to be able to help with that if we can. And it's a game changer for anyone who really sees one step maybe they can take and just having a whole shift of how their skin health, even their whole body, it shows on the outside what you're doing in the inside. So we love coaching and helping people that need education and just simple steps that they can incorporate in their daily routine.
Okay. I love to hear that because you can do all these treatments, and then if you're not taking care of, like I always say, your soul or what's on the inside, it will show on the outside, whether that's physical or mental. And it's an emotional process, though, for people to talk about their skin. It can be very triggering. So, how do you kind of bridge that gap to get them to feel comfortable opening up to you and take action?
We really have aimed to create a very inviting space, first and foremost. So it's very calming and comfortable. And clients that come in, they feel all at ease and they feel that we care. We are here to listen to what their concerns are and really educate them as well. And what's fun to discover is men are just as concerned about their skin as women are. It's maybe not sought after or heard about as much, but really a lot of men don't know who to talk to, where to turn, or they may be embarrassed and not necessarily want to share it with people around them. So that's very inspiring when we have someone come in. Sometimes they'll refer someone that is in their life or that they know that could benefit that's a man as well. As we have some men that come in for guidance. And so that's really what has really been gratifying to help. People really do need to know, like, where do I start? And it's just got to be a simple regimen and something that's easy to follow. And I think for myself, even when I started with my own journey, if it's something that I can do easily, I'm going to stick to it. When I started seeing results and just how my skin felt, it inspired me to actually enjoy my skincare routine morning and night. And that's never happened to me prior to using the medical grade product that we use.
Amazing. So, what would you recommend then for people starting out? Obviously, they should go to a professional first, but if there's like a specific products that they really should focus on, whether that's retinol or a medical grade, what would you recommend?
I would say starting with a cleanser is really essential. And that was surprising for me. I didn't realize how much a good cleanser, a very different experience with a medical grade cleanser that's not stripping the natural oils. And a lot of times, if you have acneic skin, that can irritate even more and accentuate, and so that's that cleanser, is anti-aging as well. So it's reversing aging. It lifts the dullness. It helps to exfoliate properly the skin. And it's easy to start with one product, right? If you're not doing anything for your skin, and that's something, we shift into a moisturizer. So if you could start with two products, that would be fantastic. Sometimes it's just one product starting out with. And yes, having a retinol or any type of glycolic, we have some great products that are not truly a retinol, so they're a lot easier on the skin. And it's really like a prescription in a bottle, but it's not invasive, it's safe. There's no harsh chemicals in the products we use. So that's something that we strive to really be unique in that way. So we can help people with their skin without damaging, as well as things that you're putting on your skin, right? It's damaging internally. So it's very important to research continually and stay committed to the products that we're using. We really make sure that the efficacy is the highest level that we can work with the manufacturers.
Awesome. So, helping your team create the best results, what has been something that you personally do with them to, boost morale?
We love to suggest incorporating a wellness treatment, and it may not be on the same appointment as their skin treatment, but just incorporating that even once a month initially. And it is an amazing thing to see how much it helps, not only just their skin health, but the mindset and just an overall well being, feeling good. And that's something we like to help to suggest, give a little nudge, because I think in our society, it's just not very common to take time for ourselves. And I think it could be even just 10 minutes separating yourself from your work environment for 10 minutes a day, something like that can be really nice. Just a quick session to come in and just reset the mind and just refocus on um, your priorities can really help. Because I think when you have a high stress level, it tends to show right on our skin, and it's something that I think we've all struggled with. It's not a fun place to be in when you're going through that. So it's important to incorporate wellness. I think it really does make a difference.
Yeah. So, in your wellness session, you probably talk about physical health too. I used to be a personal trainer full time before I opened up my practice of doing wellness consulting work. And physical was such a big component in general. But with skincare, how do you kind of give them the nudge that they need to improving their physical health will actually help their skin?
Just getting active helps. The blood flow helps get things moving. It really does help with skin health. And it's so important to get daily activity, right? And just seeing how much better you feel when you incorporate anything physical. You can do walking initially, right? And
Right.
just you notice how much better you feel in general when that takes place.
Definitely. What's something that you had to do when you made the shifts for your own skincare routine?
For me, it was more so doing things that helped with my mind, and that was more of a quiet space. I love doing cardio, CrossFit, all that, but I loved incorporating yoga and doing more stretching, and holding those poses just kind of helps with calming the mind down. And that was something, is when you enjoy working, you tend to work very hard. And so when I would see my mindset shift and just be able to calm my body down, it really opened up new ideas as well. So that was something that really helped me in my journey. And incorporating twice a week, doing the cardio treatments are really important, I think, too.
Yeah, definitely. Now, how often do people need to keep up with their aesthetics? And whether that be injectables or their facials, like, what should they be doing?
I recommend the facials are great just to get on a monthly maintenance plan. And it's something that's simple. And investment wise, you get so much more results for your investment. But then as far as like incorporating injectables, that's something we do usually quarterly or annually, depending on what we're using for product. Botox is going to be a 3, 4 month. We have a new product that we use that lasts twice as long, so it's twice a year. And the filler lasts a good 12 to 15 months, and that's really advanced from what we started with. It was a 9 month result. And so you're getting more out of your investment, your initial investment.
Hmm.
And it's something we'll customize and tailor as far as other treatments that are needed. Maybe it's for sunspots or vein treatments or laser hair removal. So those we just incorporate as needed throughout their game plan, their journey. Usually it's over a 2 year maintenance plan, but monthly treatments, they're really important to keep everything at bay and prevent.
Sorry, you said prevent.
Just to create longevity and looking at creating longevity is really what the goal is, right?
Mhm.
Especially to see results, but then we want to keep those results. And then the goal is to stay ageless and create longevity and to look natural, to soften really and enhance what we already have, I think is what people are looking for versus a superficial look.
Now, I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Wisconsin originally. And since moving down to Florida, I have seen a whole spectrum of a variety, spectrum of different injectables and things. And what I love that you say is the injectable is undetectable. So, with that in mind, what should people be asking when they go in for their appointment? Or what should they be communicating with their esthetician?
It really stems from the products that they're using and really focusing on superior filler product that, we're able to work with manufacturers that have the best product in the industry. And it's definitely something coming from Switzerland or Germany. And that is the best product that's out there. And so that's what really helps when you have products that really work with your own facial dynamics.
Mm.
And so it's definitely a softer, natural look. And people love that. And you really wouldn't be able to tell that they've had injections done. And that's, I think, so important to focus on product.
Are there specific areas that tend to be the ones that your clients need the most or want the most of?
Depends on the age. Every decade, it's different, right? We start to lose collagen and bone loss. Everything starts to sag. So someone in their 20s might just want fuller lips. They might want just to soften the lines on the forehead. And someone in their 30s, similar results wise. And then when you start to get into your 40s or 50s, and of course, it's different for everyone, you start to notice like your cheeks are sagging or you don't have the volume. So they like to replenish that and restore the volume loss. And the other areas that's pretty common is around the mouth. Clients tend to get nasal folds and deep lines there, and just around the mouth, marionette lines start to sag. And so we can help with that and doing it very softly. And it's really a nice result. Again, it's just starting out with the right amount of product to get to the goal. And so that's been really fun to see such a shift in our industry, how we can help and really get the best results without having anyone else notice that they've had anything work done. A lot of times they'll compliments from friends. They'll say, "Wow, you look really good. I can't put my finger on it, but you just look so good." And that's what we want to hear. Right? I mean, I think it's fun to be able to share with your close friends, "Oh, I had this great treatment done," but not everybody wants people to know that they're doing treatments with injections, and it's not always something that people are comfortable sharing.
Mm. Now, I know that you're based in Minnesota, but you travel often. On the road, have you chatted with people that, like, especially if they're more in the South, that have difficulties keeping up a routine because of the sun? Constant.
Absolutely, I see it so often, even some of the Minnesotans that they're snowbirds, and
Uh,
just really just a silent nudge, just, hey, do you want to try this sunscreen out? It's actually, do you use a sunscreen? Sometimes just asking if they use one. Do you like it? Sometimes we'll find that's why they're not using it is they just don't like how it feels or looks on their skin.
Mm.
And it's so exciting because there's so much great product now that really doesn't, you wouldn't even know that it's a sunscreen when you're putting it on your skin, as you mentioned, tinted moisturizer or sunscreens, and they actually will conceal aging, they'll conceal redness, sunspots, and it looks beautiful on the skin and very natural without being heavy or greasy. And so that's something that's very fun. A lot of times we'll ask if we can put it on their skin at the end of their skin treatment and just see how they feel. And they're just blown away to see how well their skin really looks so much different when you have a proprietary blend of great product on your skin. And even for men, they love the translucent sunscreen, someone that's golfing, it's not heavy on their skin. It almost just feels like it's moisturized.
Mhm.
But they're definitely seeing the need to protect their skin because they're in the sun. A lot of them full time in the sun every day.
Is there, because some people just use the same for their body and the face. Would you say to use something different? I'm just thinking of all my male clients right now. They're like, "Oh, I'll just use the same."
Yes. There are some men that like the tinted, just depending on the look that they're going for, their skin color. And most do wear a different sunscreen for the face because it's a little more concealing. They're trying to conceal imperfections on the skin. And that translucent sunscreen is great for a family. It's just great for the body. So typically, it's just nice to have different product for the results that people are looking to achieve. And
Mm.
it's fun to be able to have options.
Which skin brand do you prefer?
It's a toss up. I have 3 different lines. I use all of them. It's nice to be able to decide on any given day, depending on the look or also just the level of coverage that I like. So I do love Revision Skincare. Their physical active sunscreen is great. And then I also love is Clinical, short for Innovative Skincare. It's just very natural looking. That one's a little bit lighter coverage, but it's very good at protecting from the sun. And so those are probably my 2 favorite lines that I love to use. And they have tinted moisturizers that adapt to your client's skin tone. So it's adapting every time flawlessly. So it's not necessarily a different shade. And that's what's fun to see if you were to wear it and I was putting the same product on, it's going to look so different on your skin versus on my skin.
Interesting. That makes things easy too, because I don't know about you, but it's so hard to find a shade because you don't want to be ridiculously orange out with a tinted moisturizer when your body is still white, or if you have just drier skin too, sometimes it affects it differently.
Right, and that's what I love is being able to use some products that will help with that scenario and really helping with moisturizing the skin as well and not necessarily just drying it out. But also just getting the treatments will really help. I think seeing better results with the product, just getting some of the skin facial treatments and laser treatments really does help the product lay nicer on the skin.
Mhm. You said something interesting earlier that a lot of products that you use that are top notch are overseas, like in Germany.
Hmm.
Why do you think their products are better there than in America?
Oh, there's so much higher standards. Even in the UK, some of our machines that we use also come from Italy, and I just find the much higher standards, and it's really unfortunate in America, we're behind. We're just behind, and we'll see and catch on, but it's definitely something that's anything we're using that I love as far as with equipment and injectable product has already been so successful over in Europe or the areas that we've mentioned. It's just so exciting when you see such natural looking results and you really can tell quite a difference than if you haven't used anything like that before.
Mm, that's so important. We also were talking a little bit about stress and how that can be very harmful to our skin. But we also need to look at stress too as like an indicator. Even when you're seeing it on the outside, there must be something going on in the inside. So I wanted to ask you, this is one of my favorite questions to end with. How has stress saved your life?
Well, if you experience stress, I think you wouldn't be able to appreciate how much that can affect everything that, just your whole body, how it's functioning. And my cortisol levels were so extremely high. And until I had it tested, I didn't really know how bad it really, really was. And it really affected even just with my weight, just energy level, focus, and especially the skin and just looking tired. And so making a shift for me was essential, especially working in my industry in the wellness area, right? And so that for me, I feel like it's a blessing if you've gone through, I think so many of us have gone through stress. I mean, even driving is stressful for some people, but I think it's so important to recognize, and it can be one small shift in your daily routine, as I mentioned, just like taking a 10-minute break and just separating yourself from maybe it's your work environment, maybe it's, if you're at home taking care of young kids or whatever it may be. I think it's just so important to get 10 minutes a day and think that's a great first step.
Mm.
And that's really how I was able to establish a better routine and just lowering my cortisol levels and overall stress and well-being, just really noticed a shift. So I'm very passionate about that. I think when you can help others recognize, because I think it's hard, right, to see that and know where do I start, and just running off of adrenaline or going through the motions. And I think it's so important to just be able to recognize how important just lowering your stress level can be.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you hopping on. I know you're traveling in a conference room, so I really honestly appreciate this time that you gave us. How can people connect with you?
I have a website where you can learn more about my journey and my path and the coaching and things that I'm offering as far as working one on one. That website is meetamandalemmage.com. I'm also on Instagram as A Lemmage, and I love to connect with anyone and really see if coaching is something that would be a good fit for them. If we could work well together, and I offer a 10-minute complimentary consultation initially as well.
Amazing. Awesome. And then people can see you in Minnesota at Skingevity.
Absolutely. We have a great space for that.
Thank you so much. And everyone, remember to connect. Don't forget to be kind to yourself on this self love journey. Until next time, take care.